The Russell Brand case is horrible by virtue of the subject matter, by virtue of what is being discussed. By virtue of the complexity of it, though, it is one of the most fascinating cases that I, as a trial lawyer, licensed member of the bar, love. Not the fact that there were people alleging horrors, but I love the complexity, the layers of this. There is the actual allegations, the liability aspect. What laws are we talking about? What country are we talking about? UK, United States, media, libel, defamation, sexual battery, statutes of limitations, the media response. How do you handle this? Watch the onslaught. What does he do? How does he handle this? And why is this case different? Why is sexual battery? I'm staying away from the R word for algorithm reasons that you understand. But for sexual battery reasons, why is this different? Let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why. Listen carefully. We're talking about behavior that can be entered into consensually, but where consent is withdrawn. And when it is withdrawn, other aspects must be withdrawn as well. Then there's proof. How do you prove this? Is it the fact that you acted initially by contacting sexual battery research or outreach clinics and crisis centers? Is that consistent? Yes. What happens if the individual who was the putative victim goes back with the putative assailant again? What happens if the assailant, Mr. Brand, says, I don't know what you're talking about? I don't want to go into detail, but our involvement was rambunctious, wild, rough, but certainly not non consensual. What do you do when you have a 16-year-old girl, legal in the UK, legal, whose mother is saying, according to this expose, where the mother says, I don't know about this. I hope you're telling him how young you are. I am. I can't stop you. Really? You can't stop a 16-year-old girl? I mean, you really? As a parent, I'm not blaming anybody. Please, I'm not blaming anybody. But I'm saying these are the allegations made. And then when the mother meets Brand and they kiss, I mean, this is the weirdest thing. And therein lies the problem. Because this is not the usual case where somebody is pulled off the street, thrown into a van, transported and through asportation, removed, where horrible deeds. These are people who knew each other. Let me stop right there. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. First of all, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like what we're doing, like this. It's a terrible subject, but it's fascinating. And also understand one thing. We have some wonderful sponsors, great people, including our dear friends at My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is where you've got to go to get emergency food that you know you're going to need. You know it. It's just a matter of when. And right now, there is an offer, a special offer to get you going, an introductory offer, which I would take advantage of immediately. You can save $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit by going right now to preparewithlionel.com. Follow the link here and please look at it below the line. Look at it below. If you're on a phone, you know how this works. You've got to hit below the more section. In any event, preparewithlionel.com. And you can, this is important, this has a 25-year shelf life. 25 years. 21 varieties, breakfast, lunch, dinners, snacks, drinks, everything. 120 pounds of food in beautiful buckets that are aligned perfectly, stacked in a modular configuration. They're waterproof with pouches with oxygen absorber. I'm telling you, this is the creme de la creme. This is the Rolls Royce of emergency food. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it now. This is an intro, and keep stocked up because you're going to need this. Preparewithlionel.com. Now, my friends, I want you to understand something. As a trial lawyer, I love a case with issues, irrespective of who it is. Irrespective. The O.J. Simpson case, I thought, was a fascinating case because of the evidentiary issues, because of the scientific issues, because of the proof issues, irrespective of whether I liked him or not. It doesn't really matter. And no, I'm not a big fan of Mr. Rusty, but I will tell you that doesn't matter. And through the course of this, and we're going to be talking, I've got to tell you a number of things. Number one, there's the lawyer. Being the lawyer who's handling the case is number one. Number two, being in charge of media, damage control. Let me say something right off the bat. Right off the bat. If he's got Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, and Tucker Carlson vouching for him, not good. What are you doing? Not good. What are they going to possibly say? What do you say when your friends or you like somebody? Well, I don't know anything about this case, but he's a fine performer. That's it? Well, do you know anything about this? Well, I just said I didn't. I don't know anything about this. Do you know anything about these women? Do you know what he's alleged to have done? Well, and you've got an Andrew Tate. Don't you have enough problems? You must know something about this. Accusations of, and then of course they can turn that around. And of course, everybody's presumed innocent. Yeah. Okay, you got that? This is the part. And then they're going to suggest, well, maybe this is a conspiracy theory. What? Well, this is a conspiracy theory because even Mr. Brand said that this was a Baroque series of conflated, fantastic cases, and I will vouchsafe you with an explication of what really happened that nobody else knows about. And up to the various things that happened this was a concerted effort on the part of these people to pursue a conspiracy theory. Why? Because I believed in ivermectin, or I'm a Trump supporter. Wait a minute. Excuse me. Stop. You're going to try that? You're going to try that, right? Okay. Is that what you're saying? Let me make sure I got this right, because this is what they're going to say. I've got 4 women, I think 4, between 10 and 17 years ago, before this happened, who claims they were brutally, and depending upon the particular words that are most appropriate, that they were sexually battered by Mr. Brand. And you're saying that this didn't happen because of COVID? Because of Joe Rogan? Or what? What? You're going to tell this 16-year-old girl and her mother, who says, no, I was there. I was on the I mean, it was unfortunate, but we didn't know anything about Joe. No, this was no. You're going to use that routine? Does he need this? His legal team is thinking, oh God, no, don't do this. No, don't bring this up. And God, don't bring up Trump. Don't just do what? This is where everybody goes. The issue that makes this different, it's all about consent. And somebody's going to have to say, I want you, again, if I'm speaking for Mr. Brand, I want you to understand something. You are leaving me and Mr. Brand with no other alternative than to be most aggressive in refuting every molecule of the allegations you're directing against me. And it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be nice, and it's not going to be anything we want to do. But his life and his career and his family and his reputation are on the line. Now he is a rake, a rogue, a roue. He's a rapscallion. He is a satyr, a sybarite. He was a sot. He was a crapulous drug addict of the first stripe who put that behind him. He admitted he was a sex addict. I thought, revelation was something we all looked, at admirably. He told you that. He's not going in. He's not trying to secure a position in the papacy. He is not interested in any of this. He is a comic, and he's a scoundrel and a dirty dog. But that doesn't make him against the law. And what we're saying again is, do you really want to do this? Are you going to force him to say, okay, as to allegation 1, did you do this on the bed under the painting? Did you do this? Was there the cab driver? What? And if he says, yes, I remember that. Do you want to hear my version of the story? That's not the way it happened. Do people want to do this? And the idea, this is why precisely women say, I don't want to be a part of this. Because you're going to drag me through this. You're going to try to put my reputation on trial. You're going to call me some type of a slattern, some meretrix, some virago, whatever. You're going to be doing this to me. I don't want that. But then the question is, well, why are you doing it now? What is happening here? What are you doing? What do you want? What do you want? This is what brands people will ask. What do you want? You want him ruined? You want him to be what, Kevin Spacey? You want him Weinstein? Masterson? What do you want? Put him in jail. He's not going to go to jail. I think the statute of limitations. Well, if they were insane enough, you could do this. Again, we have dual jurisdiction. We have one of the sexual battery cases here. I think it was in California and LA and over there. But this is, unless they Weinstein him. And what I mean by Weinstein him, and I'm not sure about the UK, but we have similar fact evidence. And what they're going to do is, what they could do is, they can bring up all these other cases where he did something similar to this, and they reintroduce it in order to prove intent or opportunity or what have you. So let me just tell you something. We're going to be talking more about this. This is so complicated. Look what the Daily Mail's doing. Look how everything is coming out against him now. They want to grind him into dust. Now, let me explain something to you. He might deserve it. He might be the worst human being who has ever walked this planet. He might be the most criminally rapacious and horrible human being ever. But they want him ground because it sells. And once the flock moves in the murmurations and the ochlocracy of this huge swaths of humanity target him and go after him, they are not going to be satisfied until you see nothing but skin and hair and bone just ground, because that's what we do today. And that doesn't necessarily mean people are not guilty. It just means that's what we do. I'm going to be back with it. I want to hear what you have to say. What would you do? What would be your line of defense? Put your thoughts in comments below. I want to hear these. And by the way, thank you. Please like these videos. And remember our great, listen, I'm telling you right now, you are going to be in the position where one day you're going to say, thank your lucky stars you found out about preparewithlionel.com and the great folks at My Patriot Supply, and you saved $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit as an introductory offer to allow you and your family to prepare for the day when there will absolutely be a food emergency. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you for watching. And please, I ask you right now, without further ado, without delay, to comment as you see fit.